Hi, this guide is about choosing a monitor, a quick one and in simple words. Let's get to it. The first thing you need to figure out is what exactly do you need a monitor for. There are three main purposes: working with graphics or videos, gaming, and regular daily usage. And when you can answer that question, you can start choosing the panel. There are three most common types of panels these days. First is IPS, an inexpensive all-purpose panel. The colors and the response rate isn't the best, but definitely not the worst. VA panels aren't about the colors, but they are great in terms of response rate, which makes it great for competitive gaming. But if you prefer single-player story-driven titles, better colors matter more. That's exactly why there are OLED panels. The colors are fantastic, something out of this world, and the brightness is awesome, but it all comes at a price. Yes, there are TN, PLS, QLED and QD OLED too, but here's why you don't need any of those. TN is as old as steam engines and is obsolete in every single way. PLS isn't quite popular because it's just nah. QLED and QD OLED are great, maybe even perfect, but there aren't many of those. Also, their price is what's the opposite of affordable? So if you're looking for an expensive monitor for daily usage, IPS will do just fine. Your second, more expensive option is OLED, which is great for working with graphics too. And if you are planning to spend a lot of time in Counter-Strike or maybe some other multiplayer online title, consider buying a monitor with VA panel. But keep in mind that not all IPS panels are the same. Not all VA and OLED panels are the same, they differ and by a lot. And that's why when you figure out which exact panel do you want, you should take a closer look at the specs: the color gamut, brightness, refresh rate and response rate. Color gamut is the colors and the shades your monitor is able to show. There are three K palettes. It's ADAP RGB, ADAP sRGB and DCI P3. ADAP ones are for designing, for working with images and videos and having realistic colors. So if your monitor is your tool to get the job done, take a closer look at the panels with 100% ADAP RGB or sRGB coverage. DCI P3 is not about realism. The colors are oversaturated, but they become exciting. That's what you want if you are looking for a monitor that would be great for single-player story-driven games and watching movies. A little extra: if your display is Pantone validated, you're golden, because that's almost a guarantee you have great and proper colors. Brightness: it's measured in nits or candles per square meter, and those are the same. Don't ask why, just take it as a fact. Your goal is to score at least 250 of those, and even 250 is not a guarantee when we're talking about direct sun beams. Everything less will look extremely poor in direct sunlight. But on the other hand, you can save a bit of money if you're absolutely sure there would be close to none sunlight where your monitor is. Refresh rate: if you are not into competitive gaming, 120 Hz will do just fine if you're willing to pay for something more than common 60 Hz. On the other hand, the more the better, but keep in mind that depending on age and specific biological factors of every particular human, a human eye can see 400 Hz tops, maybe even less, maybe even 300 Hz. So flashy and shiny marketing about 540 Hz or even more is just marketing, nothing more. So it's just not worth it. 240 Hz or even 300 Hz is awesome and more than enough if you really need it. Response rate: this matters only for people who are into competitive gaming. Those 0.5 milliseconds or even less actually matter, because you see, let's say you see an enemy coming right out of the corner faster, which means you can react faster. But all that works only if you're good at it. For people who suck at competitive gaming, just like me, this probably won't change anything. Also, if you are looking for a gaming monitor, you should check compatibility with G-Sync if your GPU is made by NVIDIA, or FreeSync if your GPU is made by AMD. My condolences if it's from AMD. The next important thing is resolution. For regular daily usage, Full HD will do just fine. If you are working with graphics or videos, you should definitely get a 4K monitor. You'll thank me later, I promise. Gaming, well, it depends. If we are talking about online multiplayer titles, Full HD again will do just fine. And if we are talking about single-player titles, you should check your hardware first. If it can give you proper frame rate in 4K or even less in 2K. And if not, don't forget the fact you're not buying a new monitor every single year, and you might upgrade your hardware later. The next important thing is sound. All the speakers that are built into monitors sound extremely poor. Seriously, maybe somewhere out there's a monitor with great sound, but I haven't seen or heard one. I know only one person who uses built-in speakers, a real psycho. So just ignore it. Flat or curved? Well, you should figure this out on your own, because someone loves curved screens, someone hates them. It's great for games, making them more immersive and improving the overall experience, especially in shooters, racing and simulators. But those monitors are called egoistic for a reason. Because when you want to, let's say, watch a movie, you have to be in the center of the imaginary circle the curve creates. So romantic movie nights are cancelled, and those are the monitors for people that are forever alone. My recommendation is to test a curved monitor before buying in some showroom or live store and figure out for yourself if you like it or not. What else you'd want to have is adjustments. Height adjustment, vertical and horizontal rotation. That really helps. But if you don't have the ones you want, not a problem. You can always buy an extra wall or table mount for it. Ports. If you're about gaming, your monitor must have a display port, just because HDMI doesn't have the same throughput that the display port has. Again, this is about cyber sport related stuff. For regular gaming, HDMI will do just fine. Having an extra audio port is good, but not mandatory. What's really great to have is a Thunderbolt with reverse charging. You stick a Type-C cable in your monitor and in your laptop. And there you go. Having image transferred from laptop to a monitor and having power transferred from the monitor to the laptop with one single cable. Awesome. Screen size? Yes, only now. Because if you have considered everything I've said in this vid, you can choose the screen size with all of your leftover budget now. Choose the biggest one, because the bigger the better formula works here quite perfectly. There will be no recommendations on brands. Not because I'm lazy, but because if you understood everything I've said, it doesn't really matter which particular brand you choose. Specs matter more. And that's pretty much it. If you have some unanswered questions, feel free to write them down in the comments and you'll definitely get a reply. Also, don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you feel like it, and maybe even watch another videos. See you!